Alright guys, part 2 of this, because the first time it didn't work. So we're doing a live trade recap. First things first, we got Forex Factory. You can see PMI at 945 and consumer sentiment at 10. So we jumped on the charts. I didn't even look at ESA because I I'm just better at NQ from what it seems. So anyways, what's the first thing we did? Got to the 4 hour, and well, what do we see? We see this imbalance filled. Humongous push to the downside and looking for probably retracement a little bit more. I'm looking for probably going to come up either into this demand zone or this. Why do I keep saying demand zone, bro? What's a supply zone? Either this supply zone or this supply zone. But anyways, and then we see this imbalance filled, and we also see we also see also see these lows taken out, and on top of that we have actually, I already drew the equivalent level. You can see this white line right here is the 50% mark. So price comes down into a discount, fills this imbalance, and then comes back down, takes out these lows. So, okay. Just sum up the 4 hour. Price comes down into equilibrium, fills this imbalance, forms a bearish imbalance, comes up, fills a bearish imbalance, comes back down, takes out this low liquidity sweep, and pushes higher. So off that, we're bullish. We go to 1 hour. So you can see this is the bearish imbalance, and then price comes down and takes out this low, which is a good thing. That's what we want to see. And then off that, you can see price comes down, fills this bearish imbalance, and doesn't really go anywhere. So another reason why I'm bullish. So what do? We drew out the equilibrium level for this range, and you can see price comes down into an equilibrium level. And really, I'm not gonna lie, I really want a price to come down and sweep these lows, but that didn't really happen. So what do? We went to the 15-minute to look for just to see what was happening on the 15-minute, and we can see this really big imbalance here filled. Also, is this supply zone filled, and this seems like it's holding, right? So go to the 5-minute, and where's the market open candle? All right, this is the market open candle, and this is the PMI candle. Now, during the PMI candle, what do we see? Well, honestly, had shit, had price come up and taken this high, I would have probably shorted today, but that didn't. So my thing was I didn't switch my bias. So anyways, what do we see? Well, during the PMI candle, we saw price come up, and it filled this 15-minute, actually multiple supply zones here and here, and it held, and then it went back down. So yeah, I mean, I guess we could have found a short somewhere in there, but like I said, that wasn't my bias because it didn't take out this high. If it took out this high, I would have looked for a short, but it did not. And anyways, so we can see price comes down, and we see this imbalance here, right? So we go to the 15-minute, and we can see it's holding a 15-minute imbalance. Now, eventually it breaks that and moves to the 15-minute demand zone. So off that, I say, okay, if we get something, then I'll probably enter a buy. Also enters equilibrium levels, etc. But just to keep it fast for you guys. So where are we looking at? Okay, right here. So it's holding this demand or imbalance, right? It's holding this imbalance, comes up, breaks, and this is now in the 15-minute demand zone. So off this, we see a bearish imbalance form, and price comes up, fills this, moves down, and I say, okay, if price comes up and we get a candle close above this imbalance and inverse it, then I'll enter a buy. And what happened? We got a candle close above it. I entered a buy, and my first take profit was originally going to be at this supply zone, but we didn't set a limit order fast enough, so I moved it to the beginning of this fair value gap. So we took off 2 contracts here. My next take profit would have been at these highs, taking off another 2 contracts, and then my last take profit would have been at this high, taking off the last contract. Now, obviously, you can see our first take profit got hit, so we took off 2 contracts, and our original stop loss was under these lows. Then once the first take profit got hit, we moved the stop loss to under these lows, And then look at this shit. Price comes down and literally wicks us out. Wicks us out. Probably take out these lows. Maybe it's liquidity, but I don't know. Looking kind of like it, I'm not gonna lie. So we'll see if price hits our final price targets, but other than that, we didn't really lose much money since we negated it with the moving the stop loss. So if you guys look here, first take profit 178, then stop loss minus 213. So what is that? So it was a $35 loss today. Honestly, really not that bad. And compared to what it could have been, our original risk was a little bit over $500, and we ended up with only a $35 loss. So it's not that bad. Could we have made profit? I guess, but it's part of the game. And bro, I'm not gonna lie with you guys. I saw a bunch of people on like TikTok's lives and shit. They were like shorting random shit within here. I don't know why, but because like they were really looking at the 1 minute. They were going off the 1 minute. Went on the 15 minute. Right? Obviously, you have this big ass candle moving toward this imbalance in this demand zone. And what's gonna happen when it hits that? You're all gonna get stopped out if you shorted within the 1 minute. But regardless, we'll see what price does if it hits the price targets. But we did get stopped for a $35 loss. Honestly, really, I'm not that concerned about it. We'll probably just make that back anyway. $35 loss is like nothing. But, anyways, I do think we had a good entry. I do think everything we did was good. What could we have done differently? I mean, I guess we could have kept the original stop and only risked half of 500. But I'm not. I'm content with a $35 loss. It's really honestly nothing, and I'll just make that back. So. I hope you guys find this shit informational and could put it to your use. But you guys should always be backtesting. And I'm sorry I couldn't backtest this week. I was in that meme. I was in that meme coin shit. It was like I'm out of that shit, bro. That shit was not fucking working at all. So um yeah, we're out of that. We're not doing that anymore. So we're back on this. And I'll actually trade. I'll do some more live trades next week since I only have class 2 days next week. So hopefully we can do some more live trades. But yeah, I hope you guys found this informational, helpful, whatever. And continue watching for more back testing and live trade recaps next week.